Hello everybody, this is Fastest Thing Alive.
Hi everyone, this is Torch from FunTheComputerRoom.com.
And we're going to be talking you through all of Sonic's cutscenes from the classic game Sonic Adventure.
This is going to be just sort of a very quick run through the game and sort of the animation involved in this. So if you want to see our full extensive one, check out our Sonic Adventure.
The movie commentary. And here it is, the infamous line.
Classic.
Ryan Drummond, genius stuff. Oh yeah!
Grand Theft Auto style cars.
Oh my god, they're like the worst drivers in the world. But yeah, this is of course the start of Sonic's story, which I always.
Oh yeah, this is happening, and what's up with the first two things?
Well, actually, the first thing you hear him say is "Oh yeah, let's get him." When you select him from the character screen, I always love this scene. This bit in when
you got to watch the legs as they start to withdraw.
When this was adapted in Sonic X, this scene was kept in, but 4 kids cut it out. Even though this is in the game, this scene where they shoot Chaos and the bullets come out
was in the Japanese version.
In Japanese version, yeah, edited out.
Nice.
Oh no! I love how
look at this guy's legs doing the moonwalk.
he goes back. I love this. It says our weapons are useless, but still fires a few more rounds just for the hell of it. I love Sonic's attitude, it's great. But yeah, I always thought that this was a great start, and the music listened to is a piece of music called Strain, which was a great little theme. Here goes, this is the second cutscene, after Chaos has been defeated. Another just great line of Sonic's, "Come on, you big drip, where you going?" Like, this, in terms of the script for this game, a little thing, while all the other games after this, like SA2, Hero, Shadow, etc., their scripts were basically just translated from Japanese. The English scripts were actually written from the ground up. Like the English writers were given the Japanese story and what needed to happen. But apart from that, there was actually kind of like the Japanese and English scripts don't match that well, which I thought it was a great idea. And of course was Dean Bristow, the late great Dr. Robotnik. I like this because like this just showed like Sonic's laid back personality. It's just like catching a snooze.
Yeah. No, he's bad.
I always love this line because it's something my mother used to say to me. I always love that great. I've said this before, but in this game, Sonic and Tails have a great like brother relationship. There's that "What am I gonna do with you" line. There's a line later where he ignores Tails and Tails says,
"I no see again." Hearing that over and over.
To be fair, that was the first time we'd ever heard it.
Yeah.
You're too good at a just crash like that. I love that bringing in of "I Wanna Fly High." It's a great song.
This country is too good to let an 8-year-old fly a plane.
Yeah. Of that first references of that plane being called the Tornado. Now there's something you notice here is that Sonic, his reaction to the chaos is like, whoa! When you get to like Shadow and they find like 2 emeralds in one level,
it's like, oh yeah, it's a Chaos Emerald.
He's like,
we see him effect.
He's like, we don't give a crap about that. Yeah, we see him all the time.
With it you can unlock unlimited power, then why do you need 7 of them? With it you can unlock unlimited power.
Look at the way the emerald moves.
His
It's not in line with Tails' hands movement.
Oh come on, give him a break. Bearing in mind this was probably
Let's
the first proper 3D game.
Well, Sonic, yeah. I love this. That's a great, like, great entrance. I am Dr. Robotnik. Yes, you are, my friend, and you always will be.
Yes.
This was the greatest. It's just the fact that he calls himself Robotnik and they call him Eggman as an insult was the best idea. What do you want? I did think that I always like this story because at this point in time, like the story hasn't started. This is literally just another day for them.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he's back. You know, we'll kick his ass now, and then we'll go back to our story. All the other games don't have that. All the other like like especially something like Shadow. You start the game, bam,
Straight into
aliens
yeah.
come down.
Yeah.
You're in the game. Heroes. It's like you get the note. You're off on this. Even to an extent, in SA2, you start off with Sonic breaking free of prison,
Yeah.
essentially. Which I like. I always liked about it. I'm hoping well, I think from what we know of Unleashed starts with Super Sonic breaking into Robotnik's lab, which that in itself is a nice break because you start as Super Sonic for a change. That hasn't happened since Sonic 3.
Yeah. This is the one okay, this is the main.
That's the worst throw in the world.
This is the main criticism I have. Granted, there aren't that many I have, but this is the main criticism I have about SA1. Is that from here you can tell just from that okay, I wonder what's going to happen. He's going to go around and try and get all the other animals to
Yeah.
put into chaos, and I wonder how this is going to play out for this entire plot of the game.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, as I've said this, I like SA2, but for me, I really didn't like the fact that the Bio Lizard comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, I didn't like that either.
Robotnik Land! It's a great name.
That appeared in OSTH, that did.
Yeah.
Or was it Robotnik World? I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure it was.
His arms are so lanky in this game.
He's not as fat as he was in some of the other, in the TV show.
Yeah.
And they've just made him a bit more lanky, like you say. But it's just such a weird proportion to have a body that big and so skinny arms.
See, again, that was really where the story started, and this is actually one of my favourite cutscenes in the game. I always love this. I love how like Robotnik is so lazy he just waits for them and then just ambushes the crap out of them. It's great. Eggman.
So let's see. He keeps attacking me to get all the emeralds. I wonder if I should get all the rest of the emeralds. Yes, that's a good idea.
That's a good idea.
That's a good idea.
I like the fact that one of them just fell out of his invisible pocket. Come on, Sonic, let's get busy.
Don't.
This again, another thing I like about SA1 is that the interlocking stories. You play this game with Knuckles, and you see he's attacking you for no reason.
Has he always had purple eyes?
No, I'll go on to that in a minute. Something then obviously when you play Knuckles' story, you find out why. Actually, this game was the first game to actually give them all different eye colours. So Sonic has green, blue, Tails has blue, Knuckles has this that kind of weird purple colour. I hated this.
I never noticed that before. I've only just noticed it now.
In the Dreamcast version, there was actually a punching sound effect when they connect, like an actual psh, but for some reason it was edited out of the GameCube version. Which is there's a Knuckles. My favourite version of this, basically, whenever you have a scene with two playable characters, the dialogue in the scene will be different. Knuckles' version of this scene is the best by a mile. Because the line he goes to Knuckles, he goes, Knuckles, did you let him trick you again? No, in Knuckles' version, Knuckles goes, like you weren't. It's hilarious. Chaos. Also, the bit at the end. This is
I don't think so. It seems to say chaos control.
this has the worst bit of slang at the end when Sonic goes, "Man, no one ever cuts us any slack." Yeah. Knuckles again has the best line where he goes, "Oh, making me dirt." Yeah, transforms. And this little blunt dialogue is
you never see him transform. It's always just a flash of white.
It's terrible. And here is the entrance to the Egg Carrier, which is of course the big Eggman's big flying ship.
The first one, not the second one that he manages to pull out of his backside later on in the game, conveniently.
I remember seeing it for the first time. I was blown away. Graphics were amazing. And of course, it looks crap like this. Very similar to what happens with Perfect Chaos. Looks amazing in the pre-rendered movie. In-game graphics are laughable. I love that. Like, it pales in comparison to the power of chaos. Whoa. Crack the beam into the poorly textured ship, and they bugger off. I always thought this scene was funny, where it's basically Knuckles is the one that screwed up and cost them 2 KSM mods.
Yep,
and I was like,
goes away.
you know what, guys, you go save the day. I'm gonna go and do my thing. And they're like, alright, bye.
Then like, okay, Knuckles, sure thing.
We'll handle everything here. Yeah. Magical open door that should have smacked him in the face. Okay, 1 second. Time's up. I always got like a massive Thunderbirds Tracy Island vibe from this. I love how the ground shakes, but there's no noise whatsoever.
Well, yeah. And they didn't use this entire concept on Sonic X at all.
No, just every episode in season 1. It's the thing
Season
because
2.
like season 1.
It's on the ship, isn't it?
Okay, so never. I was thinking more of Chuck's house when they actually have this thing with the tree. Oh, I guess it's in both. It's in Chris's house by Chuck's workshop and on the Blue Typhoon.
Okay.
I always loved it. When I first played this. There was that big ramp. I know they wanted for house. Just run and jump off it.
Yeah.
Let's go. And of course the classic red tornado design even has the old Sonic words. That is pretty much basically the tornado from the old games. You know, this is the first game that called it the tornado.
Excellent sound effect.
Really bad classic Atari sound effect there. Thud. So basically he can fall from the sky and land in sound and fine, but in a game you jump off, you know, a couple of meters and you die. Alright. Nice consistent there, Sega. Yeah, you bugger off. Run on the spot and go very slow.
We seem to be in a big hurry to make sure.
Of course. There is Miss Amy Rose. First major game appearance since, of course, Sonic CD.
And one of the main character changes that has stuck until the present day.
Well, all the characters were redesigned for this game, but like classic ones like Sonic, Knuckles and Tails didn't really change that much.
Nah.
Of course, Amy had a big complete costume change and hair redesign. She has, I love her little retro go-go boots there. But yeah, her and Eggman are the ones who are the mostly changed in their redesigns. Ah, look, it's a really bad line delivery there. Cheesy hardware. I love this bit though. Oh, now what? Like at this point in time, Zero is still making his way up the road. They just
towards them.
They just don't care anymore.
No, they don't care that you know, one of Eggman's big expensive robots could come around and trash the city. They're going to go and play on the theme park. Yeah. So Amy's now in a safe public theme park, and there's still a big robot coming towards Sonic. Where does he go? Does he say the city, or does he go in the theme park? He goes in the theme park.
I love the fact that there's cars driving about when there's a robot, a massive robot walking down the street. Sweet, sweet, you're so sweet.
Amy, oh man, where can she be?
This bit, logistically, makes no sense because these go in the train track there. See, they come off the massive ruins, but to get there you have to get the train, which goes that way. So how is he gonna come off? And you find out he must have clearly followed him because he's on the train track at the top. Oh, I love this bit though because it just like even though that robot's like 5 times his size, you know Sonic would just beat the crap out of him. But again, it's another thing. So in this game, Sonic only really picks fights when he has no alternative, like when he has to rescue Amy here. In SA2, there was some criticism that Sonic pretty much actively starts fights with no real reason for him.
That was Shadow, wasn't it?
Yes, that's like in the jungle. He just.
To be fair, it was only with Shadow, and Shadow kept calling him a faker. And
Yeah,
things like that.
again, it's kind of justified in the fact that, like, you know, Shadow causes him trouble. The fact that we're near in the jungle, Shadow doesn't like say I'm gonna kill you. Sonic's basically like, you look like me, I'm going to hurt you, and like they wanted to go and fight, which some fans had a problem with that. And here's the first scene to introduce the blue plane. In this game, it's simply called Tornado 2, but from Sonic Adventure 2, it's kind of retconned and referred to as the Cyclone. Which I'm more of a fan of the red plane, just because I am a nostalgic person. How about you, Mikey boy?
Yeah, I want the
Red plane.
original back.
I was really happy in Rush Adventure when the plane was red. That just made me smile. Ready to go, champ? I love. You never get like I would say the script. I think while SA2 probably has the better story, I think the dialogue in SA1 is much better. That's because the American scriptwriters essentially had the basic story but devised their own kind of like lines. The SA2 script is a very literal, it's like more of a basic translation. And that's terrible, where they just crash and the sound effect doesn't start until they land. That's a really poorly done crash there. Well, they are standing on a massive phallic symbol, so yeah. Toast's bored there for a second. That's always making me laugh.
The eyelids half closed.
Yeah. The classic line coming up. Get a load of this!
Get a load of this.
Classic stuff. Of course, when you fight him in the Egg Viper, he says that about once every 2 seconds.
Robots transform.
Egg carrier, terrorize! I love this bit.
There's more to it than meets the eye.
That would have been a great line.
No, that's just one thing that annoyed me about one of the very early Archie series, was that they were finding these Transformer type robots, and
more than meets the eye.
I think it was Porker came out.
He wasn't in Archie.
So not one of the characters, can't remember who it was.
It's more than meets the eye.
Yeah, went out and
I
said
thought it was
there's
Sonic
more
who said that. I'm pretty sure it was Sonic who said that.
It might well have been Sonic that said
But yeah,
that.
I love that line, because it's like in the games you never get really a good sense of their relationship, but this it's like Salome. This like sets up as like a nice brother relationship. Also, as we're talking about, in terms of the air carrier, you can pretty much run across it front to back in about 10 seconds. Yeah, you go to levels like the sky deck. And it's like, where does he fit it in this? It's like, what is it? Was it like Felix's bag of tricks or something? This bird isn't named in this version, but in the Sonic X adaptation, it is named Lily. Come on!
Sure, he's got a name, Birdie.
Wish, Master Robotnik. But I guess in in the Sonic X adaptation, it basically defines the bird's sex as being female, as opposed to this, you know, you don't really know. I suppose most people don't care, but speaking of Sonic X, Gamera's voice in X was horrendously bad. Just so they gave him like a female, like squeaky robot voice.
Yeah.
Just one of the worst things about X, in my opinion. Someone's getting a beating. This scene will always stand out to me. It's just one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life. I remember playing this for the first time. I always just loved this cut. Just the music, the robot, and then he just charges at him. This scene is actually my very first.
The charge being a sort of moonwalk type.
This scene is actually my very first introduction to this game. When I was in some like old like retro game shop a few years ago, they had a Dreamcast and they were playing. It was a Japanese version of the game, and they seemed. I was wondering, like, you know, whoa, he's fighting a robot. That's pretty cool. I know what the context of the scene was, but this scene was my first experience in this game. You have your reasons. Then of course there's the infamous line. Hey, the ship is losing altitude. Of course, Johnson used genius. It doesn't matter theme. What about you? Find out, Eggman, and kick his ass. That's what I should have said. I'll kick his fat ass. Chaos 6. It does kind of
I wonder
look.
what could the next progression of the Chaos could be.
It does kind of look like that again. It does actually kind of look like the Cloverfield monster, doesn't it? A little bit.
It does actually, yeah.
I love the massive jump between Chaos 6 and Chaos 7. It's like it's massive. Froggy. What a wasted character. That frog looks terrible. Like there's better graphics on the N64.
Hmm.
What is that? It's terrible.
Do the Macarena.
It's better than Eggman's chicken dance in '06.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, that's a bit harsh. No need for that now, is there? His arms are massive, and look how long his arms are in this game. It's a bit hurtful. Yeah, it says butt kick. I can't believe this.
Chaos has mysteriously disappeared.
There's also if you go back in the scene before this, there wasn't any of the wind sound effects.
Hmm.
I thought you got lost or something. That's a bad line. Look,
Shut up! I have a hat.
I have a hat. Like Knuckles, like there's no Chaos 6 there whatsoever. But from Knuckles' point of view, he will be there. And also the fact that he jumps off the friggin' egg carrier now, and as we see again, falls to the ground.
And is absolutely fine.
Like he goes flat and spins around. Good for him. Rah.
Where's this?
It's a bit harsh. I'm sure he loves you. But it's just like, yeah, it's just inconsistent it is. This of course is the temple you walk around in the flashback when you meet Takao. And there's a stony kidna there. Magic. Huh? I did like the kind of mystical aspect they had with Takao. To me it just made the story just seem like way more epic.
Hmm.
Because I mean, obviously the game could have worked without all the flashbacks to Takao.
Yeah. I didn't like those.
You didn't like it? I thought it worked great. It gave the game a much more epic feel, in my opinion. Of course, the ripples, which is a foreshadow of what happens in the past.
A mural.
There's of course the mural of perfect chaos destroying the Sith, which of course is something they did back in Sonic and Knuckles. When you fight Knuckles in the Hidden Palace Zone, on the back there's actually a mural depicting Supersonic chasing Eggman in Doomsday Zone.
Alright.
Who left the stove on?
This place. Where am I? This is really
See,
weird.
Well, I guess it's not the flashbacks that annoyed me, it's the fact that every time it happened, you had to go through about 1 minute dialogue with the characters going, what is this place? I've never heard of it before. It's just like, oh, shut up, we know what it is.
Well, of course, like the player does, but in terms of the fiction of the game, obviously each character would say, "Where am I?"
Yeah.
He doesn't attempt to help anyone. I don't care, love. Go away.
I must stop this now.
You do that.
You didn't decide that earlier when they were setting it alight?
I think he still doesn't decide to get involved. Just lets the place burn down.
What was that all about? I don't think I'm dreaming here.
I think it would have made a lot more sense if it was just one character went through it all, rather than trying to piece different bits together.
Dig it down.
What's he doing here?
It really was good though, like in the SA1 the movie, like I love that. I just thought get him good. You can it fits together though when you like in the scope of the whole game. Having each character go back, maybe having characters like Gamma go back probably wasn't needed, but
Didn't you have Big go back at one of them?
I actually think Big is maybe the only character to not go back. I can't
Okay.
remember off the top of my head. It's the Egg Viper. Look how crappy his animation is there. Look at that. He's got like cardboard arms. Look at that.
Look, he's just repeating the same set of
It's
motions.
like
over and over.
it's like everyone do the robot. It's like terrible. Like if Eggman wanted to kill him, why not just blow up this room? Instead, no, he leaves a rocket place
All
just
he's
so
got to
he
do is
can...
put something shiny in front of him and then stab him in the back.
Oh, please don't bring that. Down, 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 down. Of course, Eggman's got his arse roly kicked. Make it down.
Again.
Again, I love this. It doesn't matter about Tony Harnell. Tony Harnell, rock god, best voice in the world. Of course, Tails. This another thing I really like about this is that obviously at the end of their stories, they're obviously running and they're explaining what just happened. So someone's like, you know, I beat the Egg Viper. Tails is like, big little mate. I beat the Egg Walker. I don't need you no more, Sonic. I want my own game.
Yeah.
Something that I want to mention though, that the GameCube version was just screwed up this ending, and Tails' ending. They jump and pose at good points in the song, basically, as opposed to here they just put randomly. Well, that's it. See you later.
Mm.
You can say goodbye or not?
Yeah, okay, so.
We're still rolling. This is wasting time now, Mike. What are you doing?
Alright, my bad.
Say,
I was still watching it.
there's nothing left to
Goodbye.
watch, you douche. Oh, you know what? We'll watch it again. We'll watch it again. There you go. Comment on it now.
Alright,
There you go.
thank you. Alright guys, this is the end of our...
No one cares. Bye.
Oh.